to hear a wild one? All right, I went on a little YouTube wormhole situation, and somehow that's what I wound up on this video that was like, world's smartest kid thinks that CERN blew the world up in 2008. He thinks when they collided electrons, I believe, in the super collider, CERN, that they caused some crazy chain reaction that blew up the universe, but they also created an atom that weighed too much. And so what the kid winds up with is this theory of like, one atom weighing too much and is that being just enough to shift our universe into a parallel universe. Yeah, this is it right here.
Read
this
that
kid.
Look at what it says there. He claims that CERN destroyed the universe during recent experiments, which has resulted in us living in a nearby parallel universe instead.
You're welcome, Eddie.
There's a lot of people online that think this is an explanation for all the Mandela effect things that people keep finding
it goes
online.
into stuff about the Mandela effect, how, you know, there's like apparently a bunch of
That's as far as it goes. On video. I'm taking a video of it. I don't know. Goes away. What the hell?
What is going on? Do you see that?
My dog. I don't. Give me your address. 142. Hurry, my dog. Please just send me 142 state. 142 state. Just hurry. Oh my God! Help! Just send. Oh God! Oh God! My dog.
Now, by special arrangement, the fire department is allowing us to accompany them into the sewer to catch this dramatic rescue story on tape.
In 2008, news reporter Chrissy Cooper and her cameraman Derek Green were covering what appeared to be a simple human interest story for the local network affiliate.
Tell me how your cat managed to wander off into the storm drain.
No, he didn't wander. He got pulled down by someone or something.
After several failed attempts by animal control to rescue the pet, firefighters Trevor Andrews and Dana Caldwell were dispatched to assist.
You've got to go down as soon as you can.
Okay, ma'am.
And capture him.
We'll get your cat.
What's your cat's name?
Mr. Smithers.
Mr. Smithers.
And
We'll get him
Mr.
out.
Smithers.
This seemingly minor incident brought this small group of people together for what would become a terrifying encounter in the dark tunnels beneath the city. These are their tapes.
Okay, so we are here in the sewer looking for Mr. Smithers the cat. By the smell of it, I will tell you it is actually a legitimate and sincere sewer.
Well, it shouldn't have gone too far. You all right there?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Okay.
All right. All right. Cool.
Trevor, this is disgusting.
Yeah, well. You guys all right?
We're good.
Yeah.
You good?
What is it?
It's nothing.
Oh!
found the real.
Next discovery comes from a guy who moved into a studio apartment in England. The guy claimed to have moved into the apartment without even viewing the place, and on arrival he would discover something pretty disturbing.
So here's the apartment I moved into last week. It's pretty small, pretty nice. Rent was pretty cheap, so I moved in without even viewing the place. And then when I got here I realized why the rent was so cheap.
The guy then goes on to give a tour of the apartment, and after a while, this sort of trapdoor on the floor can be seen.
Got a bathroom, pretty standard. And then we look down here. What's this? That's definitely a handle. So I figured, you know, a bit of underfloor storage. So let's lift this up. That looks like it goes down pretty deep.
Featured directly under this guy's apartment is some sort of dungeon-looking basement.
Walking in the steps into the dungeon. Coming down. We can see a corridor going off straight to the front. Some interesting graffiti on the wall. Down here, this place is strange. There's like a brick seat or bed.
Compared to the rest of the apartment, the area itself is pretty big, featuring many large rooms and corridors. What exactly this area was used for is unclear.
When did things get weird?
The time where I entered the hangar, I witnessed recovered alien spacecraft.
The disc, the flying saucer that I worked on.
The Department of Naval Intelligence in the United States was back engineering.
Despite intense scrutiny over the years, Lazar's account has remained consistent, and he has passed multiple polygraph tests.
I had a little American flag stuck on the side, and I thought, this finally explains all the flying saucer stories.
Working at a classified base known as S4 out in the Nevada desert. They had one of the reactors out of the crafts, which was an antimatter reactor.
It was in the demonstration of the reactor working. This is technology that doesn't even exist. When it was running, it produced a gravitational field of its own. Now this is something that we can't do.
Efforts to discredit him, including claims of falsifying his educational background and criminal activity, have not been substantiated.
We called the lab. They said, no, he wasn't here. We don't have any record of him. And then we found the lab phone book with his name in it. I called him back. I said, well, there it is. Well, we still don't have any records.
You're going into this craft. What are you seeing?
It's a very ominous feeling. because first of all, everything is one color. It's like a dark pewter color, and there are no right angles. Everything looks like it's fused together.
What do you think this was designed for?
The seats were small. Obviously, it was made for something small. There's nothing else in there. There's just seats, the reactor, and some of the subcomponents. There's no control panels, there's no bathroom. It's just a very bare bones thing. The reactor was in the dead center. Around there were 3 seats. They're not consoles, they're large rectangular objects. There's nothing on them, there's no buttons, there's no lights, there's
And
no
they look
controls.
the same color, the same
Everything
thing.
is the same
It's
color.
just a different shape.
Right. Those are the gravity amplifiers, the big rectangular objects. Underneath them are the gravity emitters. I physically was in the center section, and I stuck my torso in the bottom section and hung upside down so I could see how the gravity amplifiers were positioned. It doesn't fly like a flying saucer would in a 1950s movie. It flies belly first. I mean, it may set down conventionally, but it always rotates. It does a roll maneuver, puts its belly towards the target, and then moves.
In the following video, a babysitter is looking after a girl who in the video can be seen playing with her toys.
What you doing over there? Nice.
The reason for filming this video is because it was just earlier that the 5-year-old had said something very creepy to the babysitter. He films this video to record what she said. Take a look.
What was it that you told me earlier about your doll?
When I play hide and seek with my doll, it moves.
You said it moves?
Yeah.
That doll? This doll?
Yeah.
You said it moves?
Yeah.
Like you move it, or? When does it move?
When I play hide and seek with her.
When you play hide and seek?
Yeah.
Bro.
This creepy looking doll apparently comes to life when you play with it, but according to the child, it only moves if you play hide and seek with it. Now the child is only 5, so it could be that she was speaking from her imagination, but this notion didn't stop the babysitter from seeing if it was true. Curious to see if the doll actually moves, the babysitter plays a game of hide and seek. As he plays, he records it.
I'm 10.
We're playing hide and seek. Oh my god! Sadie, you scared me. Don't do that, dude.
Although quite a jump scare, the sitter would much rather be scared by a dog than a haunted doll. Thankfully, as he says, it didn't move. Now while it may seem that nothing unusual occurred during this night, something happens later that scares the sitter to his core. According to him, the 5-year-old had just been put to bed when suddenly he sees this. For some reason, the dog stares at the doll for more than a few minutes. Even weirder is that they stare at it from a distance. It's as though they're afraid of getting close. Given what was said about the doll, this strange occurrence is made creepy. But fast forward to just a few hours later, and something way creepier is caught on camera. The sitter is taking a nap inside a room, when out of nowhere, a faint noise comes from the living room. Mind you, the living room is where the doll was last seen. The sitter promptly wakes up and begins to record. This is what he caught.
Yo.
Strangely, a toy inside the living room goes off on its own, but next to the toy is what appears to be the doll. It seems to be in the same position as before, until it's not. If you look closely, you'll notice that the doll starts to move on its own. It appears to be lifting its head slowly, as if trying to make eye contact with the camera before quickly falling over. The babysitter, who at this point has seen enough, hurries out in a state of terror. The doll, as it seems, had come to life. Despite that there isn't a follow-up video to this incident, one can safely assume how the sitter felt throughout the night. But as with all videos, I'll let you be the judge on this whole encounter. Did the babysitter actually capture footage of something paranormal? Or might there be another explanation for this? It may just be that this video remains a mystery.
We talked about before, but Bunny. Remember the bunny dog that presses the buttons and shit?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did you know recently they had to like give it medications?
No.
Medicine. Now.
Yo, we didn't talk about this?
No, we didn't. What the fuck?
So that dog that was infamous on TikTok, the owners, they ended up putting buttons onto the board that are like a little bit more interesting, a little bit more advanced.
Yeah, okay.
Bunny asked, why Bunny dog?
Dog, why?
Huh? And it would say that and walk toward the mirror and just look at itself for hours.
Oh, nah.
Did you just say, who this? And then look in the mirror?
They ended up having to give it like depression medication. Now that they know, they have knowledge of it. Because there's a do you ever hear the Adam and Eve theory?
Of the various ways demonic entities can exist in physical form, the Descended have the most permanent foot in our world, having once been human themselves. Great students of various different occult practices, diving into the darkest arts and the summoning of demons. Through continued infernal tutelage, they eventually come to serve directly under the demonic royalty of Hell, the highest order of demons. These powerful ancient horrors will rarely bestow what is considered reward, descending the human practitioner into a demon themselves, guaranteeing them immortality, but also their soul's place in Hell, made into powerful demonic leaders of Hell's earthly followers, with innate powers of ritual, cursing objects and places, summoning demons of Hell, inducing demonic possessions, inciting poltergeist activity, summoning unquiet spirits, and even raising the dead. The only means of warding them off is implementation of legitimate prayer objects of several faiths, various types of exorcism, and some forms of what is considered witchcraft. But even these are usually impermanent. While disconnecting the Descended from their chosen victims is often possible, it will need to be repeated at some point, and slaying them merely sends them to Hell, from which they often return. See here a Descended once held in the dungeon St. George's Keep.
Okay, got some action in the back.